Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Teague of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated! Woohoo!
Yay! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Well, it's a cold day in the neighborhood.
It is a cold day in the neighborhood. It's a little chilly out there. But to warm things up today, we have one of our fabulous friends, one of my favorite people. We have Caterina Rando from the Thriving Women in Business. And she is out in San Francisco, where it's not nearly as cold as it is here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Welcome, our friend. Welcome.
Thank you. Blessing to be with both of you. Yay.
It's so good to see you. You look beautiful this morning. I know this is an early morning for you, so thank you for joining us today.
Happy to be with you.
We know you've been on here before. And for those of you who remember Caterina helps women grow their businesses. She does a lot of focus on sales. She likes to focus on improving your speaking abilities, because that's one of the fastest ways to gaining new clients. Mm-hmm. But Caterina, tell everybody all the cool, wonderful things that you do.
Oh my gosh. Well, I go on you, which is super fun. Mm-hmm. I love to host retreats for women.
You do.
I love to teach women how to host retreats. I love women to learn how to sell authentically, because women don't want to be salesy. And so we want to support them to be themselves, talk to people, and have people meet them and get clients. And the best way, Jim and Michelle, that I love to meet people and build a little Insta influence is with public speaking.
Yes.
Yeah,
bing, bing, bing.
Yep.
Yes.
There it is.
Caterina was actually on our the cruise that we co-hosted with Heather back in November. The Plan Your Profits in Paradise cruise retreat. Had a fabulous time. What was your biggest takeaway from that cruise retreat, Caterina?
Well, it did affirm how much I love doing business on a cruise ship, not just meeting people and sales, but also the opportunity to get away, get focused, and really take some time for thinking and planning away from your normal environment with your kids and your errands and your, TV, which even though they have TV on the cruise ship, I never seem to turn on a TV because there's so much excitement being with the people that you're with. And I think it's a great way to build community. It's a great way to deliver seminars and great content. And the other thing, Michelle and Jim, that I love is cultivating community. And that's what happens when you're together with a select, exclusive group of people that you all are like-minded and focused on the same thing, like planning your next year or looking at how to make more profit in your business.
Exactly. And I know we came up with our goals, came up with a strategy for those goals. And like you said, there's something magical that happens when you're not in your usual environment, when you're not stuck there at your everyday desk, when you're in someplace new and exciting, lots of ideas happen.
Out of the comfort zone.
Yes. Right. And that's when cool things start to happen. Yeah. We were so glad that you could join us. And you got to see Jim face to face.
Yes.
Yeah. After years, Jim.
Yes, it was years.
Exactly.
Usually peeking over her shoulder.
So, Caterina, one of the things that you brought up was when it comes to Insta-Clients, and it comes to any clients, any customers, one of the things you need to build is influence.
Right.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because last year, Jim and I did a presentation. Che Brown, great guy, a good friend of ours. He hosts the Comeback Champions Summit about 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And last year we did a presentation for him on influence. And I immediately, when I told him we were going to do that, I reached out to you and I said, Caterina, you have an influence equation, and I want to use that in a presentation. Is it okay if I do that? And you're like, of course, my friend. And so literally halfway through our presentation, you see this one slide, only one slide, that has Caterina Rando's influence equation on there. And we talked all about your influence equation. So share with everybody,
Yeah.
how do you gain influence with people?
Okay, great. And this is the first thing to say is nobody buys from us until we've built influence.
Right.
And it's very important that we don't ask them to buy from us until we build influence. And
Yes.
influence is visibility. They have to know you exist, right? And ideally, they've seen you time and time again because the law of familiarity says that the more we see people, the more we know them, like them, and trust them,
Mhm,
which is
mhm.
very exciting. Visibility plus value.
Yes.
Okay. It's not just about being seen, it's about giving people value that helps them solve their problems, improve their health, get their goals, whatever our focus is. Visibility plus value, which is why speaking is so great, because it's we're easily able to give people insta value when we give a presentation. Visibility plus value. And the last part is consistency.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, consistent visibility and value delivering, but it's also consistently showing up, consistently being present in wherever we're present, in our social media, in our hometown or our community where we network, in our emails. Consistency over time creates results. And so visibility plus value plus consistency is a very easy equation for us to put our attention on to create our influence building strategy. Where do I want to be visible? What value do I want to deliver? And what do I want to do consistently to continue to expand my influence and solidify my influence?
Yes, excellent point.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you mentioned earlier too, when it comes to building up influence, is speaking.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how important it is to get out there and like you said, increase your visibility through speaking.
You know, Jim and Michelle, I live in San Francisco, and I remember a few years back when I started to network for my business. You know, my first business was I owned a cafe and catering company. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what I needed clients. What did I do? Turn on the lights, open the doors, put the umbrella tables outside, bing, bing, bing.
Yep.
Went and stood behind my counter, and people came in all day long. Okay. They just came. Da, 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 da. Well, when you're a coach or a consultant or a practitioner, you know, turn on the lights, open the doors, doesn't do anything.
No.
And this is why you have to go speak. And when I first started this business, switching from a brick and mortar business to being a business coach, I went networking like we all do, which is, of course, very important. And one of the three top ways to get clients: speaking, networking, and referrals. Those are your top three shortest path to new clients. Well, when I went networking, I saw that every time they had an event, they had a speaker.
Yep.
And the speaker seemed to get a lot of attention and a lot of action.
Yeah.
And particularly because I would be in a room with 4 other coaches that all seemed more experienced and had more business acumen and seemed to work the room better than me. And that's why I said, okay, well, I got to be the speaker because I'm not a master networker yet. So let me be the speaker, because I knew I could do well with that. And so even in the beginning, when I didn't really know how to sell, I would come home with clients because I built that Insta influence. And I remember one day I was someplace and the lady reached across the table and she said, "Here's my card. I need you." And I was, okay, this is exciting.
That is exciting.
Right. Exactly.
Excellent. And what do you when you say speaking and when you say, you know, speaking opportunities, what exactly is it that you're talking about?
Okay. Now, I love Facebook Live.
Uh-huh.
I love being with you. I love StreamYard. I love Zoom.
Uh-huh.
I love podcasts. Zoom counts when it's live and interactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the key. It has to be interactive. You need to be able to say, welcome, Sheila, to the room. And
Yes.
does anyone have any questions? And I'll stay after to answer any additional questions you have. It's not only about delivering our super tips and our education and our value that way, but it's also about the people that are in the room having an experience of us and feeling seen and heard and gotten by us.
Yes.
And that's very, very important. And the other thing, when someone listens to our podcast or they see our Facebook Live, we don't necessarily know who they are, and we don't have their contact information. And so therefore, we're not able to follow up. Now, that doesn't mean that all those things are not great for visibility, and they do help with client acquisition.
Mhm.
But remember, I want your shortest path to clients.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is when you can give a talk, you can take a screen. If we're talking virtually, you can take a screenshot,
Mhm.
and then you can go and follow up with all those people.
Yes.
And of course, the same thing live and in person. You can talk with people after, you can collect their information, and you can follow up. Because of course, Jim and Michelle, as you both know, the fortune is in the follow-up.
Yes, it
Yep.
is.
Yes, it is.
And it's interesting you say that. We were at an event this past Friday. This past Friday night, Jim walked away with two nice plaques.
Two nice awards.
Two
Yes.
nice awards.
Yes, congratulations, Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But the cool thing is the people who were in the room.
Yes.
And the, like you said, the networking that you do there with
Right.
those people and the contacts that you make and following up with them afterwards.
It was a high-powered room.
It was.
Yeah.
And that's the important part.
And I want to maybe just jump in right here, okay?
Yes.
So, Jim and Michelle, one of the things that I know you do, which is one of my favorite strategies, is that you always have something to invite people to.
Yep.
Yes.
So you were in that room, you networked, you won an award, which builds Insta influence with the
It
room,
does.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it
But the
does.
thing is, then everyone has to go home. So
Yep.
and we never want to call people and say, "Hey, you want to buy my thing?" Right? Even though you have some influence, that's not the way to build relationships. And as you know, relationships are key.
Yep.
Great relationships to revenue. But now every month, I know you all have something to invite people to.
Yep.
And let's underline that strategy, because they meet you at the awards banquet. They now know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
They know you are a person with value. They know you're a stand-up citizen and businessman because you won this award. So now the door is open for you to reach out to everyone in that audience and say, "Hey, Michelle and I are doing a workshop on building influence, or we're doing a workshop on building great teams. Would you like to come as our guest?"
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, now you can continue to build that influence.
Yep.
Because you built some influence in that room,
Mhm.
but now we don't want to just go to, "Hey, let's do business." We want to build more influence. And so that strategy of always having something to invite people to, low cost, or better yet, no cost, invite
No
them as
cost. Yeah.
guests, right? That is a great rinse and repeat strategy that will bring you a lifetime supply of clients.
Yeah. And you're right, Caterina. We have every month we offer a free webinar.
Yep.
And literally for the next 5 months, we're going to be focusing on personal and professional growth. We're going through the 15 laws of invaluable growth, 15 invaluable laws of growth
Mhm.
by John Maxwell. And we're going to do 3 laws each month. And so that's actually coming up towards the end of
Soon, yeah.
January.
Yeah. About less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. Next Friday.
A week from Friday. Week from this upcoming Friday. Yes.
Yes. So.
And that's great, because again, you give massive value.
Yep.
People see, "Oh my gosh, Michelle and Jim, they really know their stuff." You've already built some, we call it social influence.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people call it social capital.
Yes.
Social capital that opens doors. It's like a cash, a bunch of cash, because you out in the community, that is building capital to get doors opened, to have people return your phone call, to have them know who you are. And then, but then when we build those relationships, the first thing we don't say, hey, buy my stuff. No. We say, hey, come over here. Let me give you massive value.
Yep.
And as a result, that will get you many clients. And Michelle and Jim, let me say a couple other things that I feel are essential in addition to visibility, value, and consistency. And that's two things. One, you're both so great at, which is building rapport. And you're both so friendly and easy and approachable and warm. And this is essential because it's not just about, okay, that person knows their stuff, but we have to fill a rapport with anybody we're going to hire, that we communicate well with them. And the last thing is we have to communicate and have our potential clients get that we genuinely care about helping them, solving their problems, helping them with whatever challenges they're having. Yeah. And you two, I know you have big hearts. You wear your heart all over your business, and that's awesome. But I'd like to mention that too, because, you know, from a cultural perspective, a lot of people started their careers in places where you were told, don't wear your heart all over, you know, be professional. And guess what? Being loving and caring and kind, that is professional. Yes. And I want to encourage people to amplify that even more.
Definitely.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, especially when we're moving into February.
Oh, yeah.
Where, you know, we are less than a month away from Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah. I know you do Valentine's weeks.
Yes, I do.
But we're moving into that time of the year, and when people start to focus more on showing their appreciation, showing the love that they have for one another. So that is a great reminder, Caterina, that you do it not only personally, but also for the people in your business. Do that for your customers and potential customers. Yeah. Excellent.
And Jim and Michelle, this is great too, because, you know, we sometimes send holiday cards. I like to send New Year cards. I think, and right now I just picked out my Valentine's card we're getting designed to send out to all my clients, because, you know, a little unexpected love coming people's way is always a good thing. And that's where also acknowledging people, letting them feel seen and heard and gotten, that's all part of warmth and kindness in your business. And we want to amplify that.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, Caterina, you have shared so much. You talked about, you know, being visible and adding value and being consistent. You have definitely added a whole bunch of value to everyone today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
If somebody wanted to get in contact with you because they're just like, oh my gosh, they're like that person, that lady who was at the table and she's just awesome. Like, I need to work with you. How can they do that? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, my website, which is on the screen here, is CaterinaRando.com. You can email me there. I also love Facebook. Feel free to send me a Facebook message or a LinkedIn message. But the thing I also want to mention is CaterinaRando.com/links will take you to information about my podcast, my workshops, and a lot of free resources, including our mid-year checklist. And I know it's a little early for that, but our mid-year checklist is also great for the beginning of the year to take a look and see where do you want to add more focus in your business to be even sharper so that you can bliss more in your business and serve your clients more. And I'd love to hear from anyone that wants to upgrade their sales or their speaking.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I know there are plenty of people out there who definitely need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if you need help building your goals for the year, because we're still at the beginning of the year.
We are.
So if you're somebody who figured out that the resolution way isn't working, that you need actual goals.
Let's make some real goals.
Coming up with a strategy, coming up with some action steps. If you need help in that area, who could they turn to?
Us.
They could turn to us, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So give us a call. Numbers right there, 412-420-7975. If you don't like talking, that's okay. You can text.
Send a text.
Yes.
We'll respond.
We will. You can also go to our website right there. ateagueofyourown.com. And like Caterina said, you can email us from there. You can leave a couple of comments on there. Let us know what it is, how we can help you. What can we do to serve you?
Yeah.
While you're on the website, if you click on the events tab, you'll see all of the complimentary webinars that we have for the entire year. So feel free to go in there and just start registering for them, because that way you get to know us better and you'll learn a whole lot.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you once again, Caterina, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We love having you on here. Everyone, we will be back next week.
And we can't wait to see her at the next retreat.
I know.
Right. Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, bing, bing. It'll be fun. All right, everybody. Stay warm. Stay safe out there. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.